You might think electric cars are some brand new, futuristic invention, but that's not the whole story. Believe it or not, electric cars were some of the very first automobiles on the road. Back in the late 1800s and early 1900s, they were quiet, they were easy to drive, they didn't produce any smelly exhaust, you didn't need to hand crank them to start, a huge, dangerous job with early gasoline engines. They were particularly popular with women. They were popular with city dwellers who didn't need to travel long distances. At one point, electric cars actually outsold gasoline cars. It's a fascinating piece of automotive history most people have forgotten. The tide started to turn for a few key reasons. In 1908, Henry Ford introduced the Model T. It was a game changer. Ford mass-produced gasoline cars, making them far cheaper than hand-built electrics. Suddenly, almost anyone could afford a car. Huge oil discoveries in places like Texas made gasoline abundant and inexpensive. The romance of the open road was born. People wanted to drive farther. The limited range of early electric cars couldn't compete with a tank of gasoline, so the gasoline engine took over for the better part of a century. Electric cars became a historical footnote, relegated to museums and quirky experiments. But history has a funny way of repeating itself, and now they're back as serious contenders. When modern electric cars first reappeared on the scene, they were definitely a luxury item. Think of the early Tesla Roadster. It was an exotic sports car with a six-figure price tag. For most people, owning an electric car was about as realistic as owning a private jet. The high cost was mainly due to the batteries. The lithium-ion battery packs, the heart of the car, were incredibly expensive to produce. Research development new manufacturing processes that all added to a sticker price out of reach for the average family. Over the last decade, however, we've seen a dramatic shift. Just like Henry Ford and the Model T, car companies have worked to make EVs more affordable. Battery technology has improved at an astonishing rate. The cost to produce them has plummeted. That's the single biggest factor driving EV prices down. Government stepped in with tax credits and rebates. Those incentives helped bridge the price gap with gasoline cars. The decision isn't just about today's bank account, it's financial planning for the road ahead. Every car comes with its own set of potential problems. Electric vehicles are no exception. The biggest worry for many is the battery. They're designed to last a long time, often with warranties of 8 to 10 years. But they do degrade over time. 300 miles when new might shrink to 250 miles after a decade. Replacing a battery pack out of warranty can be incredibly expensive. Another liability is the charging infrastructure. For gasoline cars, the liabilities are more familiar. We've been dealing with them for a century. The internal combustion engine is a marvel of engineering, but it has thousands of moving parts. That's a lot of things that can wear out or break. Belts, hoses, pumps, a complex exhaust system. Common headaches include oil leaks, transmission problems, and cooling system failures. A major complaint about electric cars is range anxiety. On the other side, gasoline car owners have their own grievances with fuel price volatility. Despite all the talk about how different they are, if you step back, electric and gasoline cars share a lot of common ground. At the most basic level, they are both personal transportation machines designed to get you from point A to point B. They have 4 wheels, a steering wheel, brakes and pedals, cabin with seats, windows, radio and climate controls. The fundamental experience of driving is remarkably similar in many ways. Both types of cars are built on a chassis and have a suspension system with shocks and springs. They both use a 12-volt battery that powers the lights, wipers and infotainment system. Your tires, brakes and windshield wipers will wear out and need replacing on both. The body panels, whether steel or aluminum, can get dented and require a trip to the body shop. From a safety perspective, they are held to the same high standards with rigorous crash tests. They are equipped with airbags, seat belts, anti-lock brakes, and stability control systems. The ownership experience has many parallels. Both require insurance, registration, and will depreciate over time. The most profound difference between these two types of cars is the powertrain, the parts that make the car move. A gasoline car uses an internal combustion engine, which is essentially a controlled explosion machine. It burns a mixture of air and fuel to push pistons that turn a crankshaft through a transmission to spin the wheels. An electric car, on the other hand, is beautifully simple. It has a battery pack that stores electrical energy and sends that energy to electric motors that spin the wheels. The power delivery is instant and silent. The moment you press the accelerator, you get 100% torque. Another key difference is the refueling experience. gas cars refuel quickly at stations, while EVs charge mostly at home overnight. Ultimately, the biggest distinction is their environmental impact and energy source. Gas cars burn fossil fuels directly, while EVs use electricity that might come from solar, wind, or power plants. So while the EV itself is cleaner, its overall environmental footprint depends on how the electricity is made. If you found this helpful, please like and share the video to help others discover the truth behind electric and gasoline vehicles.